In this special edition of the broadcast, over the course of the next 30 minutes, we'll update you on everything that's happening around the world. Now, the US State Department has said that Pakistan-based terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed is a huge threat to regional stability. During a press briefing, the deputy spokesperson of the US State Department, Robert Palladino, was asked by reporters about the status of the listing of the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar, to which he said that the United States is working very closely with the United Nations Sanctions Committee to ensure that the needful is done. The one person has been arrested following grenade attack at the Jammu bus stand today and has been identified as being linked to the Hizbul Mujahideen terror group. The attack killed a teenager while leaving at least about 30 people injured. Jammu and Kashmir police have said that the grenade was placed below a state road transport corporation bus. India's top court will be taking a final call on whether it will order for a formal mediation into the Ram Mandir Babri Masjid case on Wednesday. A five-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi had requested all petitioners to give the names of the mediators for reaching a peaceful settlement. Now, the Congress party released its very first list of candidates for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Sonia Gandhi will be contesting the Lok Sabha elections from her traditional Rae Bareli seat, whereas the Congress President Rahul Gandhi will contest from the Amethi Lok Sabha seat. Now, the list did not feature Rahul Gandhi's sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who, remember, had made a high-octane debut just last month. Now, India's National Green Tribunal has slapped German automaker Volkswagen with a 500 crore rupee fine for damaging the environment through the use of cheat devices in its diesel cars in India. Now, the automaker has been ordered to pay the amount within 2 months. Volkswagen India has said that it will challenge the NGT's decision as its cars are compliant with India's emission standards. The US President Donald Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, has been sentenced to 47 months in prison for tax and bank fraud. He was convicted last summer of hiding millions of dollars of income from his political consulting in Ukraine. He is in fact due to be sentenced in another case next week relating to his illegal lobbying. The charges stem from an inquiry into whether the Trump campaign had colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election. And also, the House has passed a resolution condemning anti-Semitism, discrimination against Muslims and other bigotry against minorities. The 407 against 23 vote was a bid to end dissension amongst the Democrats over Congresswoman Ilham Omar's latest remarks on Israel. Now, Omar had said that the Jewish state's allies pressure lawmakers to pledge allegiance to a foreign country. The Democratic Party was split over how and whether to censure the freshman lawmaker. The US Senator Sherrod Brown has said that he won't be running for presidency in 2020, becoming the latest Democrat to bow out of the White House race even before it's officially begun. Now, his decision comes after recent visits to several early voting states to highlight his worker-friendly policy agenda. Brown told home state reporters that he could be most effective by remaining in the Senate. The US President Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen is suing the Trump Organization, arguing that it owes him millions of legal fees and costs. But the lawsuit has said that the Trump Organization stopped paying him last May after it became pretty clear that he will cooperate with various probes into his work. The Michael Cohen has cited congressional hearings and also the Mueller investigation as examples of his work. In his complaint, Michael Cohen has said that his legal bills for the criminal investigation he has faced totals up to almost about $1.9 million. A car bomb in the Somali capital of Mogadishu has killed 5 people and has wounded at least 7 others. According to the police, the bomb went off by a car that was parked outside of a restaurant near a checkpoint manned by the Presidential Guard Regiment. Now, the Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack. Last Thursday, another car bomb had claimed at least about 25 lives in Mogadishu. At least 3 people have been reported to have been killed in deadly multiple explosions that targeted a political gathering of Shia Muslims in the Afghan capital of Kabul. Several people were also wounded in the attack. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, but the minority Hazara community have repeatedly been attacked by the Sunni Pashto terror groups such as the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda. Now, a spokesperson for the Interior Ministry has said that 1 suspect so far has been arrested. And Russia's parliament has passed 2 bills outlawing disrespect of authorities and also the spreading of what the government deems to be fake news. The first ban refers to blatant disrespect of the state, its officials and also Russian society, and repeat offenders face up to 15 days in prison. The second bill prohibits sharing false information of public interest that is shared under the guise of fake news. The President Vladimir Putin is expected to sign the bills into law once they've received the approval from Russia's upper house as well. Now, the body will consider both the bills on the 13th of March. At least 36 countries, including 28 EU members, have criticized Saudi Arabia's human rights record at the United Nations Human Rights Council. And this, of course, is the first rebuke to the kingdom since the United Nations Forum was set up in 2006. The Council has called on the Saudi authorities to release the detained activists and cooperate with the United Nations-led probe into the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Now, Drew's former television news anchor is poised to become the first woman from her Arabic-speaking minority to serve in the Israeli parliament. Gadir Mireh, who is running for the centrist Blue and White Party led by the former Armed Forces Chief Benny Gantz, is all but guaranteed a seat in the Knesset. Now, Gantz is the main opponent of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And Thailand's Constitutional Court has ordered the dissolution of an opposition party for nominating the king's sister as its candidate for Prime Minister in March 24 election. And this ban comes just 2 weeks before the country's general election and also deals a major blow to the opposition parties that expect to defeat the military junta which has been ruling since a coup d'etat in 2014. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said that he may have made some mistakes in the handling of the political crisis that could potentially dash his chances of getting re-elected in October, but has insisted that nothing illegal has happened. Now, Trudeau's remarks were made at a news briefing to address allegations by former Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould that officials had inappropriately pressurized her to help the construction firm SNC-Lavalin Group to avoid a criminal trial. Now, the crisis so far has prompted the resignation of 2 high-profile Liberal cabinet ministers and also Trudeau's closest political aides. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has dismissed US threats to cancel the sale of high-tech F-35 jets to Turkey, saying that his country will in fact move ahead with the purchase of the Russian S-400 air defense missiles. Erdogan has said that the first delivery of the S-400 will be made as soon as July. That's 3 months away. Now, the top US military commander for Europe had told the US Congress that NATO member Turkey should reconsider its plans to buy the S-400 from Russia or forfeit other future American military aircrafts and systems. Hundreds of lawyers in black robes took to the streets of downtown Algiers to press President Abdelaziz Bouteflika to step down after having been in power for well over 20 years. Tens of thousands of Algerians have taken to the streets to urge the ailing president not to stand for re-election for polls that are scheduled on the 18th of April. However, he has submitted his candidacy papers. Although the demonstrations have been largely peaceful so far, scuffles did break out between the protesters and the police who were deployed to contain the march. The severe storms have brought flooding and rain and hail in the central California. Now, the rain was so heavy at times that floodwaters rushed down the city streets, making them look more like rivers. In Los Angeles, lightning also knocked out electricity at least 3 terminals of the Los Angeles International Airport. Near Bakersfield, a rock slide occurred due to the heavy rains combining with saturated soil. There were celebrations all across Russia as it officially welcomed the start of spring. The annual Mesla in Itsa festival is a week-long celebration of festivities, music and lots of pancakes. This is the 30th year that School 91 has hosted a huge Mesla in Itsa party. Although the characters change from year to year, the theme remains the battle between good and evil, symbolizing the standoff between the cold of the winter and the approaching warmth of the summer.